goals, dreams and goals, dreams and goals. Get
Dude, we're actually rolling, right?
Save it for the podcast.
No, there we go. We are rolling. So it's perfect.
We're doing it already?
No, truth.
They don't give a fucking 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, we're going. These guys, look, they're snipers.
Peaky, this Kevin guy.
Yeah.
Oh
Snipers.
God.
It's loud.
All right, let me. Okay, we're good.
How now, brown cow? Let's go. The DG show with Adam. Why? I was a child myself, immature, victim, blamed everyone else, blamed my circumstances. So, I think if I would have had a kid then, man, it just.
What do you mean victim?
Because my childhood, the way I grew up, it was easier to blame the circumstances than it was the actions of myself.
Well, how did you grow up? Like, we've hung out a bunch, but we haven't like gotten into it.
So mom's literally a crackhead, well, meth, but she's like still today. It's no big deal. Yeah, no big deal. Never done either, but she is.
Wow.
Crazy, man. Trailer park. Don't know my real dad. Like literally, if you offered
Texas
me
or where?
in Texas, yeah.
Okay.
If you Texas, baby, we're from Texas.
We're doing meth in Texas.
There's meth in the trailer park in Texas with your cousin.
Fucking 8 Mile. It's like Texas 8 Mile.
It is. It's dirt roads instead of like Detroit.
What
right?
city?
Right outside of Austin.
Austin. Okay.
Yeah, hillbilly country.
You ever played the game in Austin? Hipster or homeless?
No, I don't.
You gotta guess. Is this guy a hipster, tech, billionaire, or homeless? I don't.
We talked about this earlier.
5 when I did the game.
Austin sucks now.
Horrible.
It's terrible. I was born and raised there. It's fucking terrible. I don't go through it. I don't want to be through it.
But you're in Dallas now.
Yes.
Anyway,
love it.
So you got out of the trailer park, the meth, the thing.
Yeah.
What happened? How'd the victim mentality end up into this positive mindset?
Because my stepdad was a piece of shit too. Beat us the whole 9. Don't know my real dad. Literally, if you offer me $1 billion, I don't know his name. My mom had this is white trash story. She had 4 names on the birth certificate, all crossed out. Like swear.
Rick, Carl, Jim, and Jimbo.
And it's like, we thought it was Dustin Jr. Jimbo. None. Roll the dice. It's like, Mom, you got around. Hey, whatever.
Mom, we love you. Just
you could have toned it down a little.
You're not the
By then, I'm like,
some guy Jim like,
there's like 4 Jims going, no. Like
not now. Now they're trying to claim you.
Dude, none of them. We don't even know. We don't even know, dude. Still, that's the thing. I'm like, man, Dad.
That's my son. I can tell. Look at them calves.
How bad was I that you still don't want to claim me? The fuck, right? And I was homeless at 14, bro. I was sleeping on a park bench.
Wow.
Yeah. It took me 5 years to graduate high school. Didn't go to college. Running the streets. Just being a jerk off. And so I blamed that. Like, I didn't do this because of that. I couldn't do this because of this. And then one day I woke up.
Well, you're white, so you're not allowed to make excuses, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry. You got white privilege, homie.
But then you know what happened?
Yeah.
One day I just said, hey, I took out my wallet and I gave him the card. And then he just gave me all this because I was white.
That's all of it?
It was done. Story's over. Story's over.
I'm white and Jewish, so it's like I got it, and then they took it right back.
Yeah, they said, nah, psych, buddy. That joke's on you.
In the world, you ain't shit.
Yeah, okay. You're out. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
So, and then when was the flip?
When I saw my wife holding Connor. Like, dude, it was like all that stuff I went through.
Wow.
Made it worth it.
The 7-year-old.
Yeah, it was like. Seeing her mom, I was like, man, this is it, dude. Like I think I had just funny story.
Yeah.
Not really funny, but I like to think it's funny. So as we're going through this, I noticed there was a small change. And I really do think this. Men can't love their children like in the stomach because you don't know. Like it just wasn't there yet. Yeah. There was something brewing. Yeah, it's like, this little guy's, he's a cock block. Yeah.
This motherfucker. He's the reason I can't get a pussy.
I can't get nothing.
Wouldn't it be ironic? I got the pussy, and I can't get.
You can't get nothing. He's kicking. He's keeping her up. It's like we're going through that, but I knew something was changing, right?
Yeah.
So it was my stepdad. So I didn't have his last name, so I had this Gutkowski last name.
Yeah. Who was that, by the way?
So it was my grandfather on my mom's side. So I had my mom's maiden last name. Even more fucked up story. Like how does that even go together?
Yeah.
So here we are, right? And I told my wife, I'm not proud of it. I was really like, I'm tired of like, who's your dad? I don't know. Where are you from? Like, and you got to tell them the story. And at the time, I was nothing. Like, making no money. I'm a nobody. I'm not doing anything. Can barely support my wife. We had 1 car, salvage title. Like, dude, I'm a bum, right? And I was like, babe, I want to change our last name. And she had already married me. And she's like, what? I'm pregnant. Like, dude, can this wait? Why? And I told her, I was like, look, we're going to have our son. And like, I want to just start over. I felt like, it's like new city, new me, new year, like, oh, new year, new me, but you do the same shit. So I was like, man, if I change my last name, it's going to make everything better. And because like, look, I don't know my dad. There's no legacy. There's no nothing.
What was your last name growing up?
It was Gutkowski. It was the same.
Okay,
So I was an
okay.
outcast. Yeah, it was just I was just one. And here's the crazy thing: my grandfather lived in Wisconsin, so I didn't see him ever. Like I can't remember the last time I saw him. I was like 10 years old. My grandmother remarried, so her last name was different. So, bro, when I say I'm the only Gutkowski, I'm the only one. There's nobody in my family that has his last name.
I know the Gronkowskis. I've hang out with the Gronks.
Not that cool.
I thought this was the Gronkowski podcast.
Yeah. I was gonna do it, spike it. Yeah.
I'm out.
I could bring my brother out, but he's a little part more special needs. He's not quite like the other Gronks. He's different.
So, long story short, you kept the last name you grew up with?
Because I kept it, and then when I wanted to change it, she's like, let's wait till after the kid.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I saw her holding him, I said, you know what? Like, fuck all that. Let's make the last name proud. Let's make the Gutkowski last name.
Let's reverse the curse.
Let's create a legacy. Nobody else has all this. We can create our own story. Like, these boys can go one day and like, hey, man, that's my dad did that. Like, there's a Gutkowski.
Like, by the way, they're going to see this one day and they're going to be like, oh, this is how it happened.
That's why I do all this stuff.
Guys, hey,
it's because of Adam.
Your dad's great.
Appreciate that.
Well, I have one question because I know that you're going to have a conversation. You're going to hear with me. But all that, how'd you land the hot wife even when you were broke?
There's only one reason you land a hot wife. Yeah,
you packing?
That's it. Hey, that's.
But still, to get the girl, you got. I mean, but walk us through that because there's a lot of guys struggling out there to even get the girl. The fact that you had the hot wife even when you were broke, when you had the shitty car, you had the money. How'd you pull her?
Just shot my shot, but she look. All joking aside, that there's a reason that I got her, and it's part of that reason. She'll tell you. She goes, I only put up with Dustin shit for so long because of one reason, and that was it. But she believed in tripod, baby. That's all they said.
Yeah,
she
the Gutkowskis, they bringing it. Okay?
They bring it.
All up in them Gutkowskis. Okay.
That's it. Hey, that's all. The show's over. Show's over.
This is not for the kids.
This is not.
Well, respect to you.
Yeah, that was it.
So,
she believed
by the
in
way, how old were you when you were your like last time you were broke?
When Connor was born.
How old
I was
you
still
then?
broke.
You about 30?
No, 30. What? 34? 35?
Because you're 41 now.
Yeah.
And then
he just turned 7.
What switched? You're like, okay, I have a purpose now.
Yeah, I had a purpose.
Yeah.
To provide for those two, right? So it was a purpose. I always had that. We talked about. I always had this competitiveness. Like I compete. Like that's it. Like I play for Peaks. Like we're gonna compete.
I play for keeps.
That's it. There's no other.
Were you an athlete in high school, college, anything?
No. I didn't go to college. There's no college.
Just competitive.
Super competitive.
Huh.
So, but then they gave me a purpose.
You want to go right now, bro?
No, not fight. Not fight. Like, can we do like table tennis or something?
That's what I meant.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, dude, I don't actually like to fight at all. Like, I hate that. I train to fight, but I don't like to fight. I don't want to. No.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm a lover. As a hot wife, I'm good. I don't want to fight.
I've seen the wife.
I appreciate that. Listen, I fought up a weight class.
Yeah.
Fight up a weight class. I was good. She's way too hot for me, and I pride myself on that. When people say you're a closer, I'm like, look, I am.
There's no such thing as too hot for me with women. I'll tell you why. Because men are success objects and women are beauty objects. That's why you see successful men, whether it's money, whether it's career oriented, whether they're fucking funny comedians, whatever it is, they're success objects, they're status symbols, and they'll pull the hottest girls. Women are beauty objects. So the best guys get the hottest girls. That's just kind of how it works. So anyway, you might say, oh, she's too hot for me. Nah. Like, I live in Miami where I see old rich dudes with the hottest chicks.
Yeah, because they're papered up.
It's whatever it is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, it's that saying, women fall in love with what they hear, and men fall in love with what they see. So that's why men will always lie and women will always wear makeup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Men lie with their words, women lie with their face.
I had a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And I sold her the dream. I had a mouthpiece. And she fell for it. Hook, line, sinker.
There it is.
Yeah, just mouthpiece, bro. She fell for it.
Hey, girl, I'm going to take you back to my mansion. I'm going to show you the world.
I love you.
Like, what is this trailer park, Dustin?
Dude, so we upgraded.
What happened was my debit card, my credit card.
Yeah, see the way it works? Yeah. I was in a studio efficient apartment and like 1-bedroom garage apartment. Like, so I wasn't quite the trailer. I'd come up a little bit. But yeah, she fell for it. I don't know why. I still just damn. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, this is interesting case example because most women are hypergamous. You know, the whole concept of hypergamy where women date up. She essentially was dating down in terms of socioeconomically. But, you know, the old adage, women aren't going to be there for you while you're going through the grind, while you're going through the race. They're going to wait at the finish line and fuck the winners.
Yeah.
So she bet on you.
Yeah.
and turned out she made the smart bet. But a lot of girls won't make that bet.
No.
Or sometimes when they do make that bet and they realize, why did I spend my 20s and my youth and my beauty on this freaking loser? Never again. And now I'm going for the winners.
Yeah. Well, but do you understand it? If you make her all the promises, you don't back it up, right? Like, I wouldn't blame my wife if I wasn't a good father and I didn't do my shit, then she should have left me. And I respect her for it because she would. Like, that's my goal.
The whole concept of unconditional love. What's the Chris Rock thing? That only women, children, and dogs can be loved unconditionally. Men are loved on the condition that they provide something, that they bring value to something.
Yes.
No, men ain't shit.
No.
It's like, all right, by the way, we're in Ukraine. The Russians just showed up. It's wartime. All right, guys, you're going to head that way towards the battlefield. Women, pack up your makeup. You're now doing OnlyFans in America. So, men are the useless class unless they make something of themselves, and then they reap all the benefits of life. So men ain't shit until they become
Until they do
shit.
something.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck until you do something.
Yeah.
And even then, they really don't give a fuck.
Like, if Dustin never made something from himself and developed a business and had this complete paradigm shift, and we were doing a podcast and you're like, I'm just this poor white trash guy. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, wouldn't even be doing the podcast.
What do you want me to do, bro?
I'd be standing here by
Here's
myself.
$20. Best of luck, dog.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So it's only because you made something of yourself and provided value to other people. That's why I assume what you did in business.
Yeah.
So people keep coming for you. All right, cool. I did something. I made a dent in the universe. I provided value. Cool. Let's see what Dustin has to say. If you were broke,
nobody would care.
Name a broke person that people listen to. I'll tell you, rich people that people listen to.
A lot.
Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Mark Cuban, PBD. They got money.
And people want something from them. That's the only reason. But you can't get offended by that.
People listen to Vinny. Have you ever met Vinny? This guy. I'm just kidding. But Vinny's starting to make money now.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that guy.
Yeah, he's broke. But
comedians.
But you have to.
This is jokes, y'all.
You have to. Yeah. You can't get pissed off by it, because when you were broke and had nothing, you wish you were in a situation where people want something from you. And now they want something from you. You get offended, and like everybody wants something from you.
Exactly.
Well, it's because you have it. So it's your job to. That's why it's important to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, dude. Got to be grateful for everything you have, but still coming for more. So how's life with you? I saw you posted your cat the other day, so you're a cat guy, which is what I love about you.
You're like, all right, you're gay. So
I actually have a cat. I have two cats.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, remember? That's why I said it. Like, we love pussy.
You know, people.
Sorry.
I do.
Yeah.
That's right.
So there you go.
Right. I want all the cats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was never a cat. Actually, I don't even like cats.
So how do you have a fucking cat?
It's because
you're gay. Okay, it's Pride Month.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you why. It's because, prior to doing the podcast and everything, I've worked in finance for the last 18 years. Dude, I made my money just being on the road. I started making cold call. I was a broke nightlife comedian in Miami, promoter, blah, blah, blah. I was getting paid in drink tickets and laughs and hot chicks, but I had no money. I said, screw it. I'm leaving Miami. And I moved up to Boca, and I'm just doing smiling, dialing, making cold calls for a year. My first year, I make $5,000. My second year, I make $100,000. Holy shit, this is working. This is a cat story somehow.
Yeah, I love it.
And okay, they said if you continue to do this. So what I did was I doubled down on this. Every year my income went up, and it was in correlation to how much I got out on the road, and did the showman thing. I'm speaking at events. I'm talking here. I'm networking. Bing, 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 bing. I ended up dating this girl. This would have been in 2017, 18, like right around then. And she was from Michigan, talking about 8 Mile.
Yeah.
My family's from Detroit. My dad, Midwest.
I lived in Troy for a year.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about Troy?
Nothing.
Nothing, bro.
Yeah, it's
that's
cold.
right.
The weather's about it, dude.
That's right. So she came down. She was a big animal lover. She's like, I want to get a dog. I was like, I can't do the dog thing. Like, I'm on the road. She's like, then let's get a cat. I'm like, we'll get a cat. So we go to the shelter. I always recommend if you're gonna get a cat, go to the shelter. Like,
But not when you're looking for women.
Don't go to the shelter when you're looking
Okay.
for that kind of cat.
Yeah.
That's not
Different.
Then again, you can get a good deal.
Depends. Yeah, it depends. She might be loyal.
Ugh, that's true because she's got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So we go to the Miami Humane Rescue Society, whatever, and we're looking for the cats. I'm like, all right, cool, we're getting a cat. I haven't had a cat or I haven't had a dog since I'm like elementary school.
And never had a cat.
I never had nothing. Like, I had a dog. And we go there, and we're like, oh, look at this one. It's like we kind of scouted it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it's there with its sister. We were gonna get a boy cat, and it was just 2 cats and a little, they keep them in like little cages type things.
I know this.
And she's like, "Oh, can we get both?" I'm
Yeah.
like, now
We
we're
get
gonna get
2
2 cats. And like the janitor's like, "I don't know if you know this, y'all, but it's buy one get one free." I'm like, this motherfucker, and I'm a sucker for a BOGO.
Yeah.
Like you tell me, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna punch you in the face." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'll give you a free one." I'm like,
It's a good deal.
take that deal. I'm a sucker for a BOGO. So we end up getting the cats, and I made a joke to her. It's almost like I cursed. I was like, "If we break up, I already know you're gonna fucking move back to Michigan and leave me with the cats." And now I'm that dude with cats. Long story short, I'm that dude with cats now.
You have both of them?
Best thing I've ever had. Love these cats. If you ever get
they're
cats,
amazing. They're great.
If you ever get cats, get 2. Why? Why get 2? By the way, it's not extra work. You don't have to do shit.
You don't do anything for them.
And by the way, the biggest thing, they don't develop that like egotistical, like what your cat's got that like, what are you doing in my house vibe?
Yeah.
Right? When there's 2 of them, you're like, daddy's home, shut your mouth. Like they're like, oh, okay. Like they know they can play together. They don't get this like superiority complex. So now the cat knows what's up. And I'll tell you, when ladies come to the house, they see the cats. It's a cat house. They like it. They feel right at home. I make any girl that comes to my house, she can't even use the bathroom. She's got to go in the litter box. That's how it works.
How big's the litter box?
It's big.
Is it self-cleaning?
Double wide. 100%.
Yeah.
Self-clean.
Yeah,
Listen,
I can see. Yeah.
One of the best things like people are like, Adam, you made some money in your day. Like, what'd you get? I'm like, I bought some Bitcoin, I bought some stocks, and I got an automatic litter cleaner. The days of this, done.
Done. Over.
Done. So
yeah, we have
life's good. So we
Bengal
got
cat.
the cats.
So you got the cats out of it. It's the best thing for the relationship. Did she go back to Michigan?
She's back in Michigan. Yeah.
So Adam's single. Are you dating anyone now?
Single. I am dating
What's his name?
somebody. His name is, well, it's a woman, but she identifies as a man. Just
whatever it takes.
when the bill comes, she identifies as a woman.
Yeah.
You know? Other than that, she wants to say something. She identifies as a man. No, I'm dating a few girls right now.
There you go.
I think, I don't know, that's appropriate to say. Sorry, but
sorry, I'm
there's
not
nobody
sorry.
out there that thinks that's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I did have a girl come stay with me it was supposed to be 2 weeks. She ended up staying for 3 months. I was like, you gotta go. But I'm looking for what you got.
Yeah.
Like, the one, because I want to have kids.
That's
Facts.
That's
So
it's the best
I
thing.
will tell you this, because, on the PBD podcast, we have these conversations about men, women, role of men, role of women. I always advise men, take your time. You're in no freaking rush. Now, don't take too long. Like Bill Maher, 72 years old. Like he wants kids. I'm convinced that I want kids. But there's 3 ways as a man, I think, to look at kids. You can get started early, and that will make you grow the fuck up sooner.
Quick, yeah.
Real quick, as you know, you get started, whatever you define as early, in your
Yeah.
20s, early 30s, whatever. You can get started late in your, late 30s, early 40s plus. Or you could say, I never want to have kids. That's a decision to make. The Bill Mahers of the world, the Mike Rose of the world, who we've interviewed from Dirty Jobs.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're the freaking man. You don't have kids? Like, he's like, nah, it's just not my thing. I love kids. I made the decision to start late. So what are the benefits of starting early? Everyone says like, well, you're not going to be 60 years old when your kid is graduating high school. Okay, that's a thing. But some of the downside is, it's a struggle. Broke, you don't have any money, you haven't made for yourself, you can't hire the help. All right, what are the benefits and pros and cons of waiting till you're older? Knock on wood, when I have kids, dude, I'm gonna have money, I'm gonna have millions in the bank, that life's good. My wife might not have to work, I'm gonna have some help, that's cool. What's the downside? All right, I'm gonna be a little bit older, I might not, grow up with my grandkids, but I can't look 30 years in the future. But what I'm convinced is I don't wanna be number 3. I wanna have a legacy, I wanna have kids, I love kids. So like my sisters, my nephew, I helped raise that kid. I grew up here in Miami. I'm still all in touch with all my best friends from elementary school. I'm Uncle Adam. I'm fun Uncle Adam. That's cool. But here's what I tell guys. Like, I've partied enough for 10 lifetimes.
Dude, you're
okay,
preaching to the choir.
I've been partying in South Beach since I'm 16 years old. Right? To the club owners that I snuck into their club. I was 21.
Yeah. I had a fake ID. You're all right.
I'm 43 years old, dude. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I've been to all the coolest parties. I've been all the coolest yachts. I've been on the private jets. I've been in the Kardashian wedding. I'm walking Khloe down the aisle. I'm in LA. I'm in Mykonos. I've done all this. I've done it. You can't take me to a party, a yacht, a boat where it's like, oh my God. I've done it. It's cool. And I would still do it. It's great. So I still do it. But the next evolution is something with bigger meaning and bigger purpose, and that ultimately I think is family.
Yeah.
So for me, I know where I'm going. It's just how am I going to get there?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
What do you look for in a woman?
Some titties? No.
Yeah. No, I'm an ass man, but
No,
hey,
I'm
yeah.
definitely.
Because I'm from Miami, I'm definitely an ass man.
Look, I'm not that guy that's going to give you like, well, you know, esoterically, the essence of a woman has to understand she's going to. I'm like, listen, it's pretty simple. It's 3 things. It's head, heart, and dick. All right. Head.
She gives great head?
No.
No. No. Oh, shit.
Yes.
So, okay.
Well, I mean,
whoops. Sorry. Yeah, edit that out.
That's number 4.
Okay.
But like intellectually, morals, values, like what does this person stand for? What does she bring to the table? Like, is she, listen, I could go down to Miami right now and pick out a 10 who doesn't speak English and brings nothing to the table. That's there. You know, there's outer beauty and there's inner beauty.
Yep.
So there's hot chicks running around here. Miami's a very interesting city because it's an adult playground. You can be, 40, 50 plus in Miami, and that's the same equivalent of being like 22 in bumblefuck Texas, right?
Shithole.
So, the downside of that is like you don't have to grow up in terms of chasing women until you're a little bit older. Cool. So a woman, how she doesn't have to like ace her SATs, but like, what's the mindset of this woman? Number 2, heart. Like, this is obviously, I mean, we're all looking for love, like not, any girls you bring her home for the night, but not the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole different thing. There's a difference between lust and love. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
That's that. And then obviously, number 3, like sexual attraction. Like, there's girls you meet, you're like, wow, this girl's so cool. And she's a great girl, great family, amazing. I'm just, I don't got it like that. So if you can get all those 3, that's wifey right there. I mean, a lot of guys will settle for 1 out of the 3 or 2 out of the 3. I mean, how many guys really get all 3? And if you do, it's up to you to make sure that you're keeping up your end of the bargain. You're looking good. You're bringing something to the table. You're improving, and that she's also maintaining that. What's the famous thing that guys marry a woman hoping that she won't change? Women marry a man hoping that he will change.
Yeah, that's true.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Right. So, I have the gift and the curse, I guess, of wisdom. I've been around the block. I was married very briefly.
Oh, really?
In my early 30s.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Yeah.
And no, it was this
It
girl.
was illegal and y'all couldn't stay together at the time?
It was a British girl from London. We had to kind of get married a little quicker than we wanted for some foreign and domestic reasons. Yeah. But it didn't work out. But I say that we had a mulligan marriage. I learned what it's like to be kind of married. This ain't no joke.
How long were y'all married?
We were together 5 years.
Oh, wow.
We were together, boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, broke up, almost got divorced, realized we love each other, got re-engaged to my wife, bought the ring, bingo bang, got in a fight, almost threw out of the country, got back together, thought she was pregnant, the whole deal. Turns out, false alarm, bingo bang. And the guy said to me, he goes, look, bro, you and your girl, you've been together 5 years. She's a beautiful girl. You're a capable dude. She's a lovely, the way I would say it is like your relationship is like a broken vase. You keep trying to glue this thing together. At the end of the day, there's so many fucking cracks in this vase. You might want to consider just buying a new one. I said, all right. And that was it. And I remember we literally broke up on New Year's. It was just like, hey, all right. Like the day I knew our relationship was done on New Year's with time for a kiss. I didn't feel like kissing her. She goes, why don't you go kiss my friend over here? I was like,
sounds like a great idea.
Fine, but that's a little weird. And literally she packed up, and that was the girl before the cat mom. So
you went
I'm looking for
5
a
years.
wife, new cat mom, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you got to make sure she has stepkids. Do you think that it hurts you being in Miami if it's an adult playground? Like to find a wife?
The question is, how much does it hurt and how much does it help?
Yeah.
So I'd rather have more options than less.
Yeah.
Okay, so more options is typically a very good thing. Too many options, you get paralysis by analysis. Like there's girls that I've been with that in any other city, I'm like, oh my God, it's the freaking hottest, most amazing. I'm wife it up.
Wife it up.
Now
today.
I'm like, did you see her toenail? So But I guess as a man, as you become a man of status, let's say, you got your money right, you look good, you act right, you have values and principles. You can wait till longer to pull the ripcord. Here's something for you. I say that life is like jumping out of a plane, and hopefully you have a parachute. Now, the biggest question is, when are you going to pull the ripcord? Now, women, you only have until basically 35, 40, at the most, to pull that ripcord. Men, how long are you going to wait to pull that ripcord? Now, what's the difference? If you pull the ripcord too soon, you get married at 18, 21, you're like, dude, I didn't have the free fall of life. Yeah. What was I thinking?
Midlife crisis, here I come.
Oh my God, by 40, I have friends that are starting to get divorced now. Yeah. Oh my God. And then, but if you wait too late, specifically you're a woman, I'm going to pull the ripcord at 37. Nah, bitch, like, you might have a rough landing. So for a man, take your time pulling that ripcord. So biologically speaking, we're different. We're playing the same game, we're just using different clubs. We're playing the same game of golf. Just women have to prioritize the short game. They got the putter, the putter, you know what I'm saying? Men, we got the driver, we're playing the long game. We got 18 holes to figure this thing out. Girls, you got like your 20s, maybe your 30s to get this ball in the hole, bada bing. And if not, you're Chelsea Handler. And you're a former hot, funny, cool comedian who's now a 50-year-old angry, trollish feminist.
Yeah.
And I don't want
Karen.
that for women. A Karen.
Yeah.
There's people out there, because, I do podcasts where I have men and women talk on the Soscast. Check it out. And there's people in this space that give the perception that they hate women. I love women. I'm friends with women. I enjoy women. Like, I'm not that dude that's like disparaging women. What I don't want to see women do is have that epiphany phase where it's like, I don't know, I'm 38 and I guess now it's time to settle down and have kids. It's like, now?
Yeah.
Like, one of my friends, I grew up with this girl. I won't say her name. She was
the
hottest
know who
girl.
you are.
She'll know.
Yeah, you'll know.
I talk about her all the time. She was the hottest. She lived on my block. She was like the hottest girl. And dudes like this, and I was a freshman always outside shooting hoops. And the seniors would show up on my block and they're like, yo, what up? Where's so-and-so's house? I was like, oh, she's down there. They're like, keep up the shoot. I was like, I feel like the coolest kid because the seniors knew who I was. But they were going to hot girl's house. I see her recently. She's a little bit older than me. I said, Gina, how old are you now? She's like, yeah, I'm 43.
You weren't going to say her name? Okay.
Sheena. I said, that's right.
Fuck it. It's a Catalina
woman. What's up? Why don't you have a man? You used to have dudes all over you. High school, college, afterwards. Like, she goes, I don't know. I just, I was doing my thing. I was focusing on career. I was on the yachts. I was doing this. And wake up one day, I'm 40. I go, well, do you want to have kids? She goes, yeah, I'm getting pregnant by myself. So what I don't want is beautiful, elegant, classy, just bomb-ass chicks to wake up one day and they're 35, they're 40, they were focused on their career or they were too picky or whatever, and now they're having a baby daddy, but there's no baby daddy. It's just they're the baby daddy. And I don't want that for women.
Yeah, I like people. You make your wife stay at home. No, I don't make my wife do anything.
Yeah,
my wife is the best mom out there. I firmly she moms fucking harder than anyone.
Yeah,
and I want her to enjoy that. Watching her mom is first of all, it's one of the sexiest things to me because dude, taking care of our children like that's amazing, sexy. Right? It's sexy as hell.
Great.
And it's like, I don't want her to have to go get a career. Like, why? Like, I want her.
If you can afford for her not to have a career,
exactly. She stays at home.
She has the choice.
Exactly. The choice is hers.
That's the beautiful thing.
That's what it is.
Do you want to work? I do. Go get it, baby.
That's what she
said.
said.
Do you want to work? I really don't. You don't have to. It's a beautiful thing.
We had this the other day. She said, babe, I want to go to work. I was like, why? I was like, do what? She goes, get out of the house. And I was like, why? Yeah. Because 3 kids. This is before Connor school. Like, you let 3 kids all day, especially my kids. Yeah. Dude, forget about it. And I was like, do you really want to go to work? She's like, well, I could do this. And then it was like, during break, I'm like, well, why don't we get you help?
Yeah.
And, and I hate when people, well, you know what? That's her job. She should stay home. I'm like, bro, she's a mom 24/7.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to shame somebody for wanting a break 2 or 3 days a week to go take care of herself, whether it be go to the gym, go get her nails done, go have brunch with her friends? Like, let her go do her thing, man. She's with them all day long. It's like, but I want her to have that choice. If tomorrow she says she wants to own a business,
yes,
let's do it. But the best thing for our children is to be raised by their mom every single day, and then dad come home, we have intense time, and they understand it. Like, when something happens, they go to mom for the nurturing, and I love my kids, but it's so cool to see, man, they're a mama's boy, because that's someone that didn't have that with my mom. Like, wow, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But then it's like, we want to go do cool shit with dad. We're gonna go, stir something up in the neighborhood, take the bikes out with dad. Like, I love that we have
paper
that.
in the whole neighborhood.
Exactly. Who did it? Dad's involved.
Gutkowski boys in the hood.
Dude, little hoodlums.
But what you're saying is so entirely accurate, and there's a few things. It comes down to, number one, do you have the money to provide? The 3 qualifications of a man: being a provider, money, being a protector, safety and security, and being present for your woman, like being a good husband, being a good family man. The 3 P's, right? Provider, protector, being present. Like the whole conversation with this guy Harrison Butker. Have you heard this?
Oh,
thing?
yeah, the
kicker for the Chiefs, where he did this commencement speech at this Catholic university, and they were saying, well, it's kind of poor timing on graduation day, the speech you give women, like, hey, congratulations on 4 years of college, go be housewives, right? And that's kind of what it was marketed to be by the.
And clearly, he's a racist, right?
Yeah, he's a racist, misogynist, Bible thumper. Chelsea Handler said it, so all the feminists believe it's true, but. Really what he was saying is like, listen, I believe in tradition. And whether you agree with him or not, at least don't shame him for having an opinion. There's nothing wrong with him saying, hey, listen, the best thing that you can be in life as a woman is being a homemaker. Because women have one special gift that men can't do, despite all the woke media convincing you that you can. As much as Dustin and I try, you and we're not going to get pregnant. We could try.
I mean, if we're going there, I'm trying to get you pregnant.
Yes,
that's why.
That's fine.
Just say.
I will chest feed the hell out of that kid. But women have this beautiful gift called giving life.
Yeah.
And don't marginalize this amazing gift. But shaming women, oh, you're just a mother. Okay.
It's the greatest gift ever.
It's the greatest gift ever. Like, dude, my mom, I don't even know what she does. She goes to work. I say, Mom, I love you. You're my mom. You gave me life.
Yeah.
She's like, I go to this job. Mom, you don't have no job. You're my mom.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just kidding. She's a nurse. But nobody cares. Like, she's your mom.
Yes.
So the thing that women need to understand is that is their greatest gift. And to shame them for being homemakers and housewives is, I think, problematic for the future. I always say, the greatest thing that I want in my life is clarity. And as a man, I say, who has it harder in life, a man or a woman these days? What do you think? A man or a woman?
Man.
Why do you say a man?
Because they're just hated for being a man. If you're truly a man trying to be a man, you're just hated. You're hated for being.
You know what I say to the haters?
Fuck you. Yeah.
I want all the hate.
For me, I don't care.
I want all you motherfuckers to hate me. I don't care. Because I'm confident in who I am and where I'm going. And I have
100%.
Clarity. So the reason I think that women these days have it harder
is
because they lack clarity. What do I mean? As a man, it's harder on the surface, outward. Women have it harder inward. What do I mean? Let me explain. Men, we know what we have to do. Get out there, kick some ass, make some money, bring some value. Don't be a piece of shit. Like, it ain't easy, but you know what you got to do. Get to work. Whether that's shoveling, whether that's calling, whether that's typing, whether that's jumping from a fucking plane, do you. You know what you got to do. Drive straight. Are you going to have to switch lanes a little bit? Yes. Drive straight. Women, what are you going to be? Are you going to be a boss babe? Are you going to be a worker? Are you going to start a company? Are you going to be an entrepreneur? The future is female. Are you going to do that? Or are you going to be a stay-at-home mother and you're going to raise kids? You're going to be a mom. Kind of hard to do both. I say on the highway of life, a man, dude, just drive. Don't end up in a fucking ditch somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Like, don't just stay on the highway. You might have to change lanes. Women, if you're going to have kids in the highway of life, you know what you're going to have to do? Get off the highway and take care of baby for 2, 5, 10, 20 fucking years. And then ultimately you might want to get back on the highway.
And you give up everything.
But a man doesn't get off the highway. You ain't getting off. Women have to get off the highway and raise a baby. Let's not marginalize this. So women these days are told, you don't need no man, go get your bag, girl, get your purse, like, be a boss babe. It's like, go check in with the women who are 40 and single and ask them if they could do it all over again, would they do things a little bit differently? You want to know how I know that they would definitely do things differently?
Gina.
Because it's because I got this thing called cell phone.
No.
And I'm on these things called dating apps. Now, 99.9% of the girls I've ever hung out with in life are in real life, IRL. But occasionally I'll go on this app just to kind of see what's out there.
Throw a couple lines.
It's called market research.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Legit. I swear to God, there's one girl I met on the app that's pretty decent. But other than that, so what's interesting, you know, if you're starting a company, there's outbound sales and inbound sales. Okay? What's easier? Being an inbound sale.
Yeah.
They're calling you.
It's all 40 and plus that hit you up. All the
Bingo. All my DMs are girls 35, 40 years old saying, hey, like, what's up? You're so this, you're so that. Can we hang out sometime, right? So I'm thinking, I got 500 inbound messages, literally. Okay, maybe that's aggressive. How many unread messages right there?
422.
Unread messages from women 35 plus, for the most part. Now, what I want to show you is this. This is such a great case example. How many messages that I sent did the girl hit me back?
2.
So meaning I have 440-year-old women being like, what's up, baby?
Cougars hitting the...
They're not even cougars. They never had kids. I don't know. That's a pre-qualification. But it's on me.
We're judging now. Sorry.
Yeah, it's judging. I love you, ladies. I want the best for you. But it's on me.
It's crazy to think about, though.
2 girls that I'm like, hey, what's up, girl? So, you know, men are hunters, women are gatherers. Now women are forced to be the hunters at 40. And this is against their nature.
But part of it is because men aren't men anymore. Men are like scared to go shoot your shot. It's like dudes are so
Thanks, Me
scared.
Too movement.
Bro, they're like, it's the dating apps. They're like, oh, well, I'm a dating app. They can't talk to a girl in life. They just can't. We see it, and I say it always goes even to sales. Like, we're in the roofing industry. Sales, you go door to door. And people are scared. I'm not going to knock on doors. I'm like, life's fucking knocking on doors. Like, I shot my shot at my wife. I was like, first night, I was like, I'm going to marry you one day. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's a lot, but I'll shoot my shot, right? And it's like, if it's just like in sales. If I'm in the store, I'm like, hey, what's going on? If I see someone, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm going to have a conversation. But guys nowadays, whether it's, we say social media, screen time, whatever it is, but it's like you said, men are hunters. Like, that's what we naturally do. We've gotten away from that. So it's forcing women to have to do that and that's not what they're supposed to do because men are like scared. It's like you see a hot chick in I don't care where it's at. Just go talk to her. What's the worst that's going to happen? Hey, how you doing? Fuck off. Okay, great. Have a great day. Yeah. I'm right back to where I was.
The problem is a guy, once he gets that fuck off, just like in sales, they're like, oh my God.
It's the end of the world.
I mean, end of the world. Like, we both made our money in sales. I'm financial sales. You did roofing sales,
fitness
right?
and roofing sales, yeah.
Okay, so my first year, I made thousands of calls. I made $5,000. Okay? Not exactly winning. But they said, listen, bro, you keep smiling and dialing, one of these days you're going to make some money. 18 years later, I run one of the most biggest firms in the industry of what I do. I've made millions because now, call that motherfucker, what's up, dog? How you doing? And now it's second nature. But, competence will turn into confidence. Once you start doing something enough, you start getting good at it, you're like, she's going to shoot me down?
Yeah, right.
Okay. But most men, they've sort of lost that sharp spear.
Yeah.
And for good reason. Women, oh my God, you're creeping me out. It's like, all I did was say hi. Or you see in the gym, oh my God, he looked at me in the gym. Your fucking titties is hanging out, girl. Like, how am I supposed to not look? Don't you want men to look at you? Isn't that why you dress like this, and this? For us to be like, oh, I'm blind. Ray Charles all of a sudden in the gym.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, this nonsense, this like, I take all these movements, right? Modern feminism, not what feminism began as, modern feminism, and it's been perversed. BLM, okay, not the civil rights movement, where blacks actually weren't equal in America. Everyone's equal these days. The BLM is perversing this woke DEI reverse racism thing. Cool. Modern feminism. BLM. The Gays for Gaza Brigade, who are just like, Gaza, free Palestine. It's like, go do that in Palestine, Gays for Gaza. Let me know how that works out for you. You'd be dead. So all these things, this equilibrium, this perversion of what is we know to be true is all farcical. And eventually it's going to come back to reality. And even not to get all political, but like 8 years ago, Trump wanted to build a wall. Walls are racist. What?
Clearly.
At this point in 2024, it's like, we can kind of use right now that motherfucking wall, maybe a fence. Can we just get a wire?
Something.
I don't know. Let's slow down this invasion, as they say. So there's a lot of things that don't make sense right now. And a lot of it is because of social media, because things have happened so fast. And young people have been influenced so quick. Like TikTok, I think, is one of the most dangerous companies in the world. CCP is algorithming it up out there. And all our zombie smart kids that get A+ in schools and go to woke universities and elite universities, their mindset has completely been perverted. So it's interesting what's happening out right there. So, men don't know how to be men anymore. Women are trying to be women anymore. The victim culture, like everything.
Tough, yeah.
So all this is happening out there. But I think, America's going through this weird dynamic right now. Divisiveness, black versus white, Republican versus Democrat, men versus women. I think, and I hope, that this is just a phase, and that we're going to, it's called reversion to the mean. We're going to get our senses. We're like, yeah, okay.
But do you think it's the problem is now, well, it's a problem, but social media, do you think that it's the majority? Because, like, it wouldn't be news if it was everybody, right? That's part of it. It's like, used to be you just read your paper, so you didn't see it. But it's the thing today. Like, they don't show on the news today, hey, great, there were no wrecks on the highway. It was a beautiful day.
By the way, guy saves puppy, and everyone, there was no drama today.
No, nobody said, they don't say that. So it's always drama. So do you also think that, yes, is it really happening? 100%. Like, you can't doubt that. But do you think it's more blown out of proportion? Because if it was just everyday life, it wouldn't be news. And so they're trying to make it worse. So the people that are that middle, that are kind of brainwashed, they fall for it.
So I'll tell you, I have a really good answer for that. Only because it's something that I've been following and studying. A few years ago on the PBD podcast, we had this guy called Rick Sanchez on. And he was a local reporter, journalist in Miami. He was one of the biggest guys out there, Rick Sanchez. And he made famous the line, if it bleeds, it leads. Right? Yeah. So if it bleeds, if it's drama, if it's crazy, it's salacious, lead story. And in media, they say the number one rule, don't bury the lead. Right? Like, they're not going to be like, so today the stock market went up 25% and American Airlines, their flight capacity went down 20%. Oh, yeah, and Trump went to jail. Like,
they want to
Trump jail. Like, that's the number one story. So if it bleeds, it leads. And the media, whether it's the left-leaning or it's the right-leaning, they will continue their narrative and push their narrative. And that's what their base wants. They're going to feed their base. So, of course, so for instance, there's actually data came out there, the Gaza protests, right? Do we think your question is, are we actually this divided, or is it just sort of made up? Like, are these stories really running rampant?
There's divide, of course, but is it that bad?
So they did this data, and they said, they gave 3 different data points. They said during graduation in May of 2024, graduation season, on every single campus, on every single news outlet, there was protests, right? Well, actuality wasn't like that at all. The media fed that, because if it bleeds, it leads. They actually said, they give 3 data points at all the universities, top 1,000 universities in America. They said red if there was no protest, yellow if there was a protest, green if there was an encampment, right? Like when they set up tents and everything. 80% of colleges were red, meaning there was no protest.
There was nothing.
There was nothing going on.
Yeah.
The other 20%, there was 10% just protests, and the other 10%, probably closer to like 2%, was encampments. And you know what they found out? That the 80 to 90% that had no protests, did not have encampments, were all just the normal state universities, colleges, all around the country.
Just trying to go to fucking school.
Just trying to go to school, bro.
Trying to pay my bills, y'all. Trying to holler at some
learn something.
chicks.
Trying to get laid, dog.
Yeah.
And the most elite, formerly known as liberal, most illiberal, progressive, aka regressive universities, the Harvards, the Yales, the Stanfords, the Berkeleys, University of Minnesota for some reason, Michigan, The hardest universities to get into, the most expensive universities in the country, is where all the protests were.
Because you think,
what does that mean?
It's influence, because if somebody says, hey, Dallas Community College is protesting, no one's going to care. But if you say Yale or Harvard, people are going to listen. And then what's going to happen is who donates to those big schools? Big money does. And so if they think that it's going on, it must be a real life issue. If you're looking at the average person that's just out there on social media, goes, holy shit, the world's burning down. If they are picketing at Yale, they got to be picketing at everywhere. They got to be picketing at that.
But the data suggests that it's
not true.
The opposite of what's going on. So to kind of like put a ribbon on this conversation, we're not as divided as we think we are. We don't hate each other as much as we think we do. Americans are not that disillusioned with the concept of America. Men aren't actually thinking they're having babies. Women don't actually think that they're better than men, but they drive this wedge because that's what creates views. If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
So that's why this new disruptive media, podcasting, what we're doing right now, we're having conversations, and the market is the best tale.
Yes.
So we're seeing the market say, yeah, bro, I'd rather watch Rogan or PBD podcast,
that's crazy,
or Tucker's new podcast than what's going on legacy media, because I don't trust you motherfuckers anymore. And they've lost a lot of trust. And now, we're going to see what happens. But the narrative that they've been pushing for years is sort of hemorrhaging.
And they won't let it go. And it's like making it worse because they're losing it at rep.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Right. How long have you had your own podcast?
I started Soscast in 2021.
2021. Yeah. How long have you been on
PBD podcast? We started in 2020. I started doing social media content in 2016. I've known PBD since 2012. So doing business and finance.
Yeah.
We met at a conference, a financial conference, just working out in the gym. Two dudes.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Broing it out, dude. Gym bros.
Broing it out. Little bromance. And we just kept in touch. We did some business, what have you. And then I didn't even know about Valuetainment. Valuetainment wasn't a thing. I knew about PHP.
Yeah.
Because we were in the same insurance financial industry. And then one day I'm just watching videos. Oh, it's freaking Pat. What's it? Valuetainment. Maybe it had 500,000 subs, which is something.
Yeah, that's
now
a lot.
We've got collectively 10 million subs across all the channels, what have you. And I hit him up and said, Pat, what's this all about? He goes, yeah, man, I started doing that. And I saw him at the next meeting. It's still a picture that I have. And I was like, dude, I wanna do something. He goes, dude, just get a camera and start rolling. And I go, he's like, what are you gonna do? I was like, I'm gonna teach millennials, which was the cool term at the time. Now it's Gen Z. This is 2016. I'm gonna teach millennials how to save that money. Because when I was 25, I was broke. Nightlife, club promoter, Miami, telling jokes and having parties and drink tickets. By 35, I was a millionaire. What did I do different? What did I change? My mindset, my abilities, my capabilities, how I manage my finances, everything changed. But I want to teach millennials this. It goes, great. So then in 2020, we joined forces. He took over. It was called Saws Talks Money at the time. And then we did the PBD podcast. We started that in the summer of 2020. And then I realized at that point I wanted to do something more than just money. It was getting just kind of, how many times I tell people to save that money? I wish you motherfuckers listened, but some of you guys don't. And now Soscast has a little bit more oomph in it. It's like where finance meets romance. We have conversations with men and women. And
can't find the romance unless you got the finance.
That's right.
Yeah. True love starts there.
There it is.
Yeah. How did you think? I mean, you guys have crushed it, man. It's amazing to see what you guys have done. Did you think it would really get that big? Like, I mean, I know you always say, after the fact, but like,
did I think it would get this big? Yes. And I'll tell you why. And this isn't being, like, I knew we were going to be the shit. Like, I don't even think we're the shit right now. Like, people are like, you guys are the best. I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah.
In 2020, during COVID, the girl I was with the cat lady, she actually got sick. She had cancer. Young, beautiful girl, 24 years old, diagnosed with cancer. Oh my God.
Man.
Life's over. My dad died. It was like the worst 3 months of my life.
Is she better? Is she good now?
She's better now.
That's good. Yeah.
But it was a struggle. This beautiful, just gorgeous model girl, chemo, the whole deal. A couple months later, my dad dies. I'm going through a fucking depression. I'm usually a very optimistic, happy-go-lucky guy. It was 2019 was like just the worst. I went and I saw Pat. We'd see each other every November at this one meeting. Every November for, 10 plus years. I said, I got to talk to you, man. It was in Dallas. I said, dude, I'm struggling right now. He goes, all right, man, well, I'm here for you. You know, I was like, yeah, I think I need a little, I change of scenery. He's like, well, why don't you, think about doing something here with Valuetainment? I was like, oh, what does that mean? What does that look like? Pretty thorough vetting process if you ever deal with BBD. Like, I'd already known him for 8 years. He's like, so tell me about yourself.
Yeah. How many cats do you have?
How many cats and shit. So eventually we got to speaking, and then COVID happened. I was like, oh, God. And I was like this close to working out with something, and COVID happened. And I said, you know what? I live in Miami. He lives in Dallas. I'm just moving to Dallas. Forget about it. And moved to Dallas, and I immersed myself in PBD's world. It was PHP. It was Valuetainment. It was PBD. Everything he was doing.
You guys were in Addison, right?
What's that? Addison, Texas, right outside of Dallas.
Yeah, because we're at Carrollton. We're like 5 minutes from.
Oh, Carrollton.
No, actually, what did our BizDoc left? It's 1 point. What was it? 1.1.
Yeah, BizDoc lived right there.
No, corporate office. The PHP office was 1.1 mile away from my office.
We could have hung out then, bro.
I know. Fuck
right
it.
near Millionaire.
Yeah, right there next to it. We were right there.
So I immersed myself in this world, and I saw what he was doing. I was like, oh shit, this guy's got this massive financial company. I didn't know this. Oh, Valuetainment at the time was this like little redheaded stepchild with like 10 people that worked there, if that, in a massive warehouse of a couple hundred people. So we were not like this big deal.
Yeah.
But I saw this, and I saw what he was putting together. I saw what he was doing with PHP. I saw the big events he was putting together. He puts these massive events together. Nicky Jam's performing. Nelly's performing. That's the one that Kobe spoke at. So I said, oh, if he's doing this in the insurance industry, proven, done. He's already done it.
Yeah.
Imagine what he's going to do in the media industry. I'm in. So when we did the first podcast in 2020, we cast this vision. We said, you know when our year is going to be? 2024.
Kobe year.
Yeah, 24. We said, why? He said, look, we just hit it. We've realized that we're business, we're politics, we're relevancy, we're culture. The next time this is going to be super, super, super relevant again is going to be in 4 years at the next election. So just strap in, buckle up, because we've got another 4 years to even fucking get going. So I said, the Sheryl Sandberg quote, if you have an opportunity to be on a spaceship, don't ask what seat you're on, just get in.
Yeah.
So I got in, I strapped myself, dude. I'm here for it. And now in 2024, we're doing well. I think we just hit number 5 overall in Spotify for
it's awesome. It's amazing.
Top business podcast. But I still feel like that dude with 2 cats and a suitcase showing up to Dallas. Like, what's up? What do we do next? So I knew this would happen just because I bet on the right horse, and PBD's that horse.
Yeah, when you get on the right bus, so many people, man, I get up all. What do you want me to do? What is this? And I'm like, dude, just fucking shut up and just work, man. Like, that's how you provide your value. Not telling me there's so many people don't believe in the bus, and they don't believe in it at all. So then what happens is they're only on the bus for where they think it's going, and then as soon as it makes a left, they're like, oh, I'm off. This doesn't benefit me. If you just get on for the bus for who's there, bro, you believe in the bus, it can take you. Cause
I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to give you a little bit of maybe counter argument there. I firmly believe, and it's okay, that most people are out for their own self-interest.
Yeah, we all are.
It's not like
like
we're not Gandhi over here.
No.
And I've gotten into it with Tom and PBD, and on one end of the spectrum it's selfishness, and on the other end of the spectrum it's selflessness. And you got to strike that right balance. I firmly believe for young men, you should be mostly selfish, right? You got to take care of yourself. You got to look good. You got to make money. You got to figure out how to get a girl. Like, you don't got no kids. Like, but don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right. But as you grow up and you have a company and you have a corporation, you have a family, you have kids, you can't just be selfish. You got to be a little bit more selflessness, but striking that balance. So that's the same way in a relationship as it is in a company. How many employees you got?
150?
Yeah, 150 employees.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is mostly selfish.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
Okay. They want to get paid. They're not going to do this for free. They want to do a good job. But so you're also selfish because you're like, I'm running a fucking business here. Like, this ain't a nonprofit 501c3. Like, the bottom line is I got to make the bottom line. So striking that balance between employer and employee relationship, it's, all right, I know that they're selfish. I know they're here for a paycheck, but what's their attitude like? Okay, and they're like, I know that he wants me to work. I know that if I don't do my job, he's going to fire me. But how does he treat me? Is he a boss or is he a leader? Is this guy an employee or is he contributing to the culture? So striking that balance. So it's important for the leader to constantly remind the team, hey, this is where we're going. We're driving on the bus. You're looking out the window. You're thinking of yourself. You're thinking of your life. So I think it's important for the CEO or the founder or the leader to be like, come on, guys, I want you on the bus. I want you here with me. But I think it's also incumbent on the employees to realize, yo, bro, if you're selfish and you're too selfish and you're just out for
Oh, yeah. Well, no,
you're out.
100%.
So it's about that balance.
Yeah, no, and I think I'm talking about for people that want to make it big, right? Like, I agree. Like, there's people on our team that just want to make $50,000 a year, and they want to work, X amount of days a year. They don't want that extra, and that's fine because I love those people, and I want to coach you to that level of where you want to be. I like to coach people to where they want to go. But if you come to me and say, look, I'm going to be the finish line, I want to do something big, right? Like you were like, I'm moving to Dallas, right? You didn't give a fuck what PBD was doing. You just knew that it was the right guy, the right horse. Those are kind of people I'm talking about. But a lot of people say that stuff, and they get on the bus though, and like look at you. You went from Miami to Dallas, like right back, because you believed in the right horse.
I believed in the right horse.
But see, those are the people that make it big. Because you either have to have the vision or believe in somebody else's vision. And if you don't believe in it, that vision might turn, right?
Dude, you're absolutely right. Now, everyone's out there saying, how do I want to start a company? I want to be an entrepreneur. No, that's not for everybody.
Dude, no, please do.
I'm proudly an intrapreneur.
Yeah.
I don't start companies. I'm the number 2 at a company. I'm a number 3 at a company. I'm not the number 1. I'm the CEO of my life.
Yeah.
But I'm not the CEO of a business.
100%.
So I've realized that my skill set is not, okay, guys, everybody buy in. All right, we got rent to pay. We got an HR department over here. We got business planning to do. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm going to go sell some shit.
Exactly. Deals pays the bills.
So skills pay the bills, degrees pay fees. So I realized if I can bet on the right guy, I could take my skill set and amplify what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And
they'll reward you.
But I'm also, I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. So I'm using my skill set. You just because you're a go-getter, hustler, type of person that wants to make their way in this world, that doesn't mean you need to be an entrepreneur. You can go align with an entrepreneur and be an intrapreneur. Look at Steve Ballmer, who owns the LA Clippers. He was the number 2 to Bill Gates at Microsoft.
He's doing really well.
$50 billion, whatever. He's doing pretty okay. So,
but I wasn't the head CEO.
Doesn't matter, bro. Like BizDoc, he says BizDoc isn't a number 1. Sorry, bro, but BizDoc is a hell of a number 2 or number 7,
and
whatever.
He smokes almost every other number 2 out, right? Like
BizDoc's doing his thing. Here, it's funny. I'll kind of bring business and life and partying and relationships into a story right now. So I firmly believe that young people got to get off their phones and get out there in the real world. You have to. I'm a networker, and I'm also a personable type of person. I like to get out there. What's the introvert and extrovert? I'm an extrovert. Cool. So I get out there and I've done my thing in Miami, and I tell people this all the time. Like, I've said this to athletes, celebrities, ballers, Kardashians. I said, listen, I'm going to give you my little speech. You don't need to call me when you're in New York. Like, I'm not your, don't hit me up when you're in LA. If you're in Chicago or Dallas, whatever, I'm not your guy. You come to Miami, I got you. My city, born and raised, like I've been doing this forever. And I'm not a fly-by-night guy. Whatever you're looking for, whether it's restaurants, partying, girls, fun, family, I got you. I'm one phone call away from everything you need. Cool. So this one night, I'm out, and I'm with this crew, and they say, hey, we're going to go to this after party. I said, cool, I'm taking them around. Turns out the after party is at this $50 million ridiculous house. And who's at the house? It's Vin Diesel. Shout out to Vin Diesel. Yeah. And I don't even have a car, much less watch Fast and the Furious. That's not my thing.
I don't think I've seen one, I think. I don't know.
It's not my thing, but I like Vin Diesel from Boiler Room.
Yeah,
just old school. He's a classic guy.
He's a smile on his face.
So, it's all about ratios. In Miami, we go to this after party. There's 20 women and there's 5 dudes. And it's
good
Vin,
after party.
Great after party. It's Vin. By the way, Vin was behaving the whole time. I'll never forget. He was in like cargo shorts and Timberlands. I was like, this guy's straight out of the 90s.
Yeah.
And we get to talk and we're hanging out. And when you have abundance, right? Imagine if it was 20 dudes and 5 girls. Imagine. Every guy's like, what's up with the chicks? Oh my God. But with 20 girls, the girls are like, which guy are we going to get? What's guy? So we're chilling. So we ended up, because we're not like thirsty, and the boys start talking. And I'll never forget, he ends up saying, hey, Mikey, get over here. I start talking to Vin Diesel's like right-hand guy, Mikey. It's like, you know how PBD has Mario?
Yeah.
Mikey. He goes, Mikey, tell him about the three things in life. The 3 things in life, 3 types of lives. I said, oh shit, like I'm taking notes. He goes, there's 3 types of lives. He said, the first one is a caged existence. You're in poverty, you're desolate, you're broke, you don't have a lot of promise in your life. There's not much you can do to get out of the cage, okay? Fucking sucks. That ain't me. In America, you don't have to live a caged life. There's certain parts of the world, like
You do,
whether
yeah.
you're in India, whether you're in Africa, or in North Korea, you are caged. There's no America, you don't have to be caged. The second thing is living a content life. All right, cool. Like I make my 50 grand. Like, you know, I have my Honda Accord. I go, you know, to Applebee's. Like whatever, just fine. I'm not looking to, you know.
And you probably have to go for happy hour on 50K.
Yeah, you know,
so
you're
yeah.
just it's everything's fine. Everything's hunky dory.
Yeah.
That's most people. The thing I always say is most people are most people.
Yeah.
Right. So, the third thing, only a select few have. That is having a charged life, having a charged existence. Where whether you're self-motivated or something happened where it motivated you, like when you had your baby, you're like, I ain't fucking going back. I'm going to do something with my life. And salespeople have this thing. Entrepreneur has this thing. People that, you know, fighters have this thing. Athletes have this thing. You know, the top women, models, whatever it is, they got this thing that's like, nah, I ain't doing this content thing.
Yeah. They want
It ain't me. And you either got it or you don't. Some people are just like, dude, I make my money, it's fine, I'm good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for a charged guy to live a content life, they get the ick.
Yeah,
they get the ick.
It's terrible.
So I'm self-motivated. I don't like, I'm all about fulfilling a purpose and having a legacy. And there's no way I can just do content. And I'm so grateful I live in America. And I don't even have to think about having a caged existence. And even if you're born in a trailer park to a meth head mom, you could fucking become a multimillionaire and make it in America.
You can do it.
God bless America.
And you know, I can tell you, I'll end it on this because I know we got to go to dinner, but I can tell you almost anything I want to know about you by your Google search on how you look things up. Do you look at what's the average in America or what's the top in America? Because if you look at what the average person makes, you're content on making average. If you look at what the top person makes, top homes, I always look at, and someone taught me that a while back. It was like, what do you research? I go, what do you mean? They're like, when you go to Google, what do you look? And I go, I'm confused. Like, they're like, when you were going to see how much money someone makes, I go, what do you look at? I go, I look at what the top people make in Texas. And he goes, what do you think most people look at? And I go, I don't, wherever they live, you know, he goes, if you're going to be average, you're going to look up average.
Amazing.
If you're going to be top, you're going to look up top. And I was like, holy shit. And then I looked through it and I was like, wow, man, most people, what's the average person make here? Because they were going to be like everybody else. What is the top? And you always, you know, you're in sales. When you had that guy come in, he goes, man, what's your top guy do? A lot of them were full of shit, but you liked that he was gunning for that. And so I was like, wow, man, he's right. And so I actually started asking people those questions, like, what are they researching? You're sure, what's the average height? What's the average this? What's the average household income? Because they want to be average. And again, if that's what makes you happy, respect, right? Like, be happy. Do what makes you happy. That just doesn't make me happy. And I found it has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with, I want to create that legacy to be something like, for my kids, maybe one day go, man, that's my dad.
Yeah.
My dad made me proud. So
thank God in America, you can just be perfectly average and live better than 90% of people on the planet.
Fucking maybe more than that.
Imagine if you just do, I want to be better than average. Dude, you're blessed.
Yeah, you win. Well, man, look, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your time.
This was fun, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just like shooting the shit.
Yeah, that was
it's like
it.
back in the trailer park, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's not as nice. We didn't have this. This would have been, it's a little wide, bro. We had a single wide, so this is too big. Bro, we weren't, hey.
Let's get out of here for old
we weren't king of the birds.
Let's get out of here and go do some meth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is fun, brother.
My man, thank you.
Dude.